it.
Go ahead.
Ah, Husker, my good friend. Glad you could make it.
It had been a successful day for Husk at his local casino. He had managed to scam his way to victory through all of the patrons in the establishment, being able to win every single chip possible at the game. As he was ready to cash out, a tall, slender red man walked up to him and his mountain of chips.
Excuse me, my good sir, but would it be possible for you to be up for one more game?
Sorry, Lanky, but unless you got a stash of chips hidden in that fancy suit of yours, I ain't risking this bounty.
The tall figure let out a hearty chuckle, and with the wave of his hand appeared a mountain of chips at the other end of the table Husk was in. It was even taller than Husk's. Husk looked at the massive stack of chips and grinned.
Alright, game on, scrawny.
The dealer handed out each player their hand for a game of Texas Hold'em. The first couple of rounds go without incident, the two men simply playing the game for the prize. But as the game progresses, the red man began asking Husk questions.
Tell me, Husker, what exactly do you plan to gain from this little game of ours?
First off, my name is Husk, not Husker, and I plan to win that fat stack of cash that you pulled out of your ass.
I can see that. But I mostly meant the real reason why you're here. It can't be all just for dirty money, now is it?
Try to read me all you want, pal. You don't know me or what I'm about, so keep your trap shut.
Ho ho! But I do know you, my friend. I have been observing you for quite some time. You are not the only one who frequents this establishment. And I have to say that I am intrigued by you.
Husk looked at the red man in confusion while setting his cards down.
You come here every single day to scam lower demons out of their pathetic salaries to fill your addiction to alcohol and gambling. And each day after you revolve around your victories here, you go back to your home, lamenting every decision you took that dragged you here in the first place.
Are you here to be my therapist? Or are you here to play, asshole?
Husk, getting increasingly more angry by the Red Demon's accusations, reached for his cards and picked them up. The Red Demon chuckled as he picked up his cards to carry on with the game. After a few rounds, the Red Man decided to make this an all-or-nothing round. He'd set all of his chips in an attempt to intimidate Husk, but the winged feline didn't hesitate to push all his chips in as well. It came down to the last game, in which the Red Demon won with a 3 of a kind, making Husk incredibly angry. The Catman flung himself over the table, knocking over all of the chips in the table, and held a blade to the Red Man's throat. The Red Man laughed at Husk's attempt at his life, and pushed Husk's knife away with a finger.
My, aren't we a sore loser? Rest assured that I won fair and square, my friend. However, I haven't had a more exhilarating game in a long time. So you can keep the chips. I have no use for money anyhow. But in exchange for the chips, you must give me something in return. All I want is for you to entertain me whenever I call for you. Simple enough, isn't it?
Huh, is that it? As long as you don't make me do some weird sex shit, I don't mind.
It's a deal then.
There she was, fresh out of the living world. Nifty wasn't quite like other sinners. While others were brooding and vulgar, Nifty was the total opposite with her excitable and friendly behavior. She was on a mission to make as many friends as she could. She took a deep breath and tidied herself up a little in front of a broken piece of glass, making sure she would look presentable and, most importantly, clean. And so she ran out to meet people to befriend. Unfortunately, she was usually received with indifference or outright disgust. Not losing her drive, she kept going, gaining the attention of a mysterious red figure in the distance. After a few unsuccessful hours, Nifty had almost given up. That was, until a tall, obese, and gray demon approached her.
Hey there, little girl. I see you are having really bad luck making friends. Don't worry, I'll be your friend.
Nifty's eyes widened as soon as she heard those words. Finally, someone she could be friends with! She hugged the overweight demon's leg as he just pet her and ruffled her hair. The gray demon asked Nifty to follow him into a dark alley, saying that the two of them were going to play a game. Nifty happily obliged, finally being able to spend time with someone. The fat demon then asked Nifty to turn around and count to 60. Nifty very excitedly asked if they were playing hide-and-seek. The demon said yes, but it was a special way to play hide-and-seek, one where he would hide only a part of himself. Nifty then began to count.
1, 2...
The gray demon then started to unzip his pants, giggling to himself and looking at Nifty with malicious intent. Suddenly, the fat demon felt a hand grab his shoulder. It was black, with the tips of the fingers red.
Excuse me, it's not very polite to deceive a lady like that.
The fat demon then turned around to see a figure staring at him with red eyes. The silhouette was slender, yet it shook him to his core. The gray demon then tried to run away, but a multitude of black tendrils had him bound and gagged. Before he could beg for his afterlife, he was torn to shreds by the tendrils, and leaving nothing but a red splatter on the floor.
59, 60! Ready or not, here I come!
Nifty then began looking around for her new friend, and after an hour of looking, she couldn't find him. She curled up and began to cry, believing the first friend she made since arriving in hell had abandoned her. As she began to weep, a tall figure stood before her. A tall, slender man wearing a red suit and holding a cane-like microphone.
Why, hello there, little lady. Why are you all alone, crying in a dark alleyway? This is no place for a girl like you.
Oh, hello, mister. It's just that my first friend, since arriving here, has ditched me.
Is that so? Well, that is unacceptable. A girl such as yourself shouldn't be left all by her lonesome like this.
The red being helped her get on her feet and wiped away her tears.
I'll tell you what, my dear. Allow me to be the first real friend you'll make down here in hell.
Nifty sniffled and looked at the figure, who was smiling from ear to ear.
And you promise that you won't abandon me?
Abandon you? Ha! Why, that's preposterous. Only a fool would waste an opportunity for entertainment such as this.
Nifty didn't quite understand that last part, but she was happy to have a friend that wouldn't leave her. The red man extended his arm for a handshake, which Nifty ignored to give the red figure a hug. The red silhouette was perplexed by this. He wasn't used to this kind of affection by his diversions, but he responded to this gesture by patting her on the back. He then took her hand, and the two walked away as the whimpers of the gray fat demon were left unheard, as he was now nothing but a pile of mincemeat.